Folks, it's the 10th of March 2025. We'll go out here and take a look at the site of two suspicious fires in the last 2 days, just a block away from the parole office and a block and a half away from the sheriff department and the county lockup. That oatmeal in there is terrible. We're gonna go down here and take a look and see what's going on. Be right back. Here's the corner of Healy Street and Traction Court. Washington Avenue. And right down here, the gates are open. We're just gonna make a little sweep through here. This is the parole and probation department. Right here. There's the PO in there. You gotta get the right stuff going there. Right there, the county lockup. So the PO used to be downtown in Kalamazoo. They used to be downtown. It's right along the business loop here. But what they did, they moved it. Well, the rumor was too many people weren't showing up. Some people that would show up would flee the building. Other things I heard, didn't see it with my own eyes, and so they decided to move it out here closer to the new expansion of the county jail. They expanded it. I think they expanded it 300 beds. I can't remember. A little old business right there from back in the day. But anyways, yeah, now you show up in there, and once you walk inside those doors, I think they have to buzz you to get back out. I can't be quoted on that. But anyways, yeah, they don't have much of that problem. Nice Harley store right here. Okay. Fairgrounds are right down here too. Yeah, go down here and find this. We're very close to it. Okay, this is right here at the fairgrounds. So where you bring your contaminated waste right in there, the hazardous waste center. Right beyond it here is the little area where they run the ponies and the horses and during the fair, and all the animals, and the barns are all along here. Okay. Let's see some of the animal barns from the county fair. Right here on the right is the county lockup. And I'm not saying that lightly. There is the Who's Cow. All right. And that is no kidding, no joke in there. You can also walk right through the front door there up to the desk, ask for records, need a permit to purchase. They buzz you through a door, go down a little hallway to records department and pick up your permit to purchase. When you're released from jail, that's where you walk out right there. That's the perp walk. That's where you're picked up. Well, that's what they call it, but it's like, take me to the steakhouse walk. Here's animal control. Okay, that's the brand new dog catcher's building. Here's the old dog catcher's building. Right here. It is true, and I believe it was Thursday evenings. I think it's every other week. If you're in the county lockup in there, another water pumping station right there, older buildings, you can feel them, or you can some probably that too, right back there it was, the muffle. You can smell the cremations of the animals. People go, what's that weird ass smell? And then it would be brought up to them what that was. It was that Thursday evening, I think around 10 or 11 at night, something like that. Anyways, stories from back in the day. We hope they all get adopted and they're spayed and neutered so they don't have all that problem in there like that. Yep. All right, we got to find this fire. Okay, we're down here on Shakespeare Avenue and Lake Street. All the properties around here into the sun are for sale or lease. Other buildings back here, and I've never been on this street. Cargo expediters and so forth. I have never been down here. Little place there, interesting. Let's see. Here's the house that burned. That one just burned last night. I mean, yeah, I think it was last night or earlier this morning. And then right over here, not too far away, was one of those buildings back there. It's set on fire. Be right back. And there you go again. There's an old World War II style Quonset hut right there. Older Kalamazoo businesses along here. Fulford and Lake Street. We have to take a little ride down Fulford and Lake Street. I was told that you'll see some things down through here. And so we're at Fulford and Lake. There's a tire pile back here. Must be a junkyard in there, a recycler or something. This building right here is all dilapidated, gone. I don't know what this is. Back in the day though, look at the Dado. Thought she was a singer. Davo. Oh, here's Sackett Brick. Yeah, yep. This is quite a business. They're still here. This is a heck of a business right here. Sackett Brick. Family owned. They have their own brickyard back here. Everything else. But around here is a whole nother story. It's a whole nother story. Well, down one of these little side streets is where it all happened. I did get the address on there and we were right, so don't know what to tell you yet. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna turn down here on March Street. Off Lake. We're now on the east side hood. I'm sorry. We just came from there. We're now on the south side hood. How you like this place? Ain't that wonderful? Can't get through here. I think it's a water main break. If they come back to repair. Yep, it is. That's exactly what that is. All right. Up ahead here, may have some more. Talk to you in a minute. Here's the famous Hayes Market with a tub in front of it. Looks like they're gutting this building out. They may raise it. I don't think it's protected. That might be the last video and stuff you see of this right now from the Hayes Market on Hayes Park. All right. Yep, utility work up ahead here. Right back. This is all lead line remediation. We'll see some more of this. The whole neighborhood. There are dozens of vehicles out here on the street. Down in there, and all from consumers. Here's the second fire. Right here. The building I couldn't get back to. It was a vacant old building, and there's a fire set inside. It was put out, a lot of black smoke, but it was just one of the old vacant buildings, and it couldn't even get back to see it. But we can see all the remediation going on here. Make a little curve here, also known as a turn. Head back down. All the service lines right here going back into the homes. They have these trenchers and things to feed the lines under the street. Have little roundabouts here they're trying to do. Man, it's a lot of work. Yeah, that guy back there was working with a line. You can see all along here with the cement. It's brand new, where they've dug down and come across into the people's yards. You can see the boxes, the connection points out here by the street. The clean out truck, that's a big vacuum truck. Vacuums out the holes like a big vacuum cleaner. See, everybody has a little box, and you can see out here where the new cement has been poured, covering up the areas where they had to tear up the Strasse. Yep. So that is what has been going on all along here, y'all. Got a little extra video here of the infrastructure being updated. Getting all those lead lines out is what has been happening. There's a cute little bobcat. All right, let's go on. Take another look at the Hayes Market. There's a little party nest up there above it. It is condemned. It is condemned. Yep. Be right back. This neighborhood is considered to be now the most dangerous neighborhood in the city of Kalamazoo. There's a most dangerous area, which is I heard interfaith housing over on the north side hood. But down here, this is pretty notorious. But there are some areas they are trying to fix up. Boy, this is really nice right there. I've been doing, taking care of business. Here's a nice old brick place here. Boarded up, windows broke out. Some fish scale up there. That might tell you the age of that home. Or in the ballpark. This area used to be a large horse racing track. Hayes Park. Hayes Horse Racing Park. And Race Street, as you can see right here. And for a long time, the residents Kalamazoo that so wanted to come out here and bet on some horse racing, I mean, go out here and race their horses, this is where they'd come. And it grew over the years. But then, all of a sudden, it fell out of the limelight, and the neighborhood here was built. Kalamazoo expanded, started moving outwards. This area was way out in the country when he built the park, the racetrack, but it sure isn't anymore. Of course, the paper mill's not too far away, and other things helped to grow this area. And then, as people moved out, lower income families moved in. And as certain heads of household were no longer around after the years went by, the way things turned in society and so forth, it had a downturn, and it turned into a very dangerous place down there. We're out of that area right now, and we're closer to the farmers market area. Old Kalamazoo homes again. I call them Kalamazoo homes because I was brought up around these places. Yeah, these are the homes we have in Kalamazoo. Well, they're the same as what you will see in Grand Rapids and in Lansing and all around. Just what we want to call an eclectic mix of architecture. You get in some areas, you can tell there's a heavy Dutch influence, not Deutsch, Dutch, Hollanders from the Netherlands. You get in other areas of the town, you can see where the pocketbook had taken over. That nice turret there in the corner of that old home right there. Huh? That's pretty cool. And you could tell the pocketbook took over and the larger mansions were built. There's a nice home right there too. Part here was very depressed down here at the time, and they came through with different programs, and we'll take a look at one of these programs and investments right here at the marketplace. I'll be right back. This area used to be Dutch back in the day. My father was Dutch, my adoptive father. Yep. My birth parents were Germans. All right, we're gonna look at this area right back. Okay, the homes here in this depressed area at the time were raised, street a little reconfigured, investments made. And housing built. I understand that this is affordable housing. I see some trash containers along here, and so I know that there are some people living here. Walking distance from the farmers market. When I was a boy, we'd come down here in the Bank Street Market, and we're on Bank and Marketplace Boulevard, a new street marketplace. Right in here was the old green painted booths and the wooden picnic tables or display tables for all of the farmers and growers to come in here and sell their wonderful produce around the area. Across the street over here was a grocery store. Okay, now it's Dash Mart by DoorDash right in here. Okay, and this has all been reconfigured over the years. Here's the new farmers market. I tried to get in here 4 times last year. Good luck. Come early and stay late. Yeah, they have a heck of a participation here, and you can see all the tables, and that's just the beginning of it. The area that they're working in right here, okay, is going to be a little band center. You can put on a little concert in here. You could almost call it a little convocation building. Okay, a lot of parking back here, but right here on one of the branches of the Arcadia, I believe it's the Arcadia, and this do flood down in here. You are on a floodplain, absolutely, positively. Right here you see the railroad tracks. Right there on the other side of the tracks is some water. Up ahead here I see something that's also new since the last time I was down here. There's an old home right here. It appears to have been, yeah, there's some looking for fire damage on the house next door. Don't know, but probably a fire. The home next door is for sale. Be right back. I did hear on the scanner a couple of weeks ago about the there was a fire down here on Bank Street, near the Bank Street Farmers Market. I call it the Bank Street, but it's Kalamazoo Farmers Market. Everything's name changes. Yep, we will be right back. All right. Yeah. I've always loved this home right here on the corner. Okay? This is quite a little place. I looked it up, and you're looking at a home right there that was built in the late 1800s. One next to it too. They've seen better days. Right across the street from the kick pool, the city Kalamazoo kick pool. I take my grandson here in the summertime, go swimming and so forth. It's a very well kept, nice place, nice pool. And then you have the Upjohn Park right here, with everything that they can do to make one happy here in this part of Kalamazoo. Have a little skateboard going on. And that's a pretty nice park too. There's another one a little larger than this, another part of town here. And we're looking over from the east, southeast, downtown Kalamazoo, the Hinman skyrise poking their head above the top there of the Bronson Medical Facility. Everything. We used to walk, that was our neighborhood. You've heard me spout off about that before. And we used to walk from there over here and hang out. Back in the day, the white building you see right here, that used to be Deliden's heavy truck body, frame, everything, painting, you name it. Next to that was J&J Paint and Glass, and so forth. On the corner, I can't remember what was in that little flat stone building right here, but that was there. And then there were other buildings going all the way down to Portage. Here on the corner where Gordon Water is, where they sell bottled water, that was Engel Volkswagen. Go in there and buy a brand new Volkswagen Beetle for about $2 grand, maybe a little less than that. Yep. Of course, other old homes that were along here raised over the years on the side, east side. But last summer there was some pretty bad things happened over here at the kick pool. My son and my grandson and I showed up, go swimming, and man, it was packed. It was packed. There was a lot of people in there, and so we just decided to call it a day. There were some individuals out here cruising the parking lot right here. I didn't like their looks. I didn't like the way they were looking at my vehicle and the way that they parked right over next to my vehicle. Here's the pool right here and the diving board on the end here. Anyways, we were parked out here, and we were parked right over here. And so I told my grandson, there's a snowmelt pile. All right, I told him we're gonna leave. This place is just too busy today, and so forth. And there was parties going on over here, family parties and everything. And we'll just hit this another day. So we came out, got in the vehicle, and left. Well, it was just about an hour. I don't think it was even an hour, and gunfire erupted here. Youth on youth. As I remember, there were two or three guns that were recovered. One from the site right here. The others when they found these guys, these young men. And there were, I don't know injuries, but there was a vehicle that was struck with several bullets and damaged the vehicle. And so at that point, when that happened, my son-in-law, my grandson's father, he said, the boy don't go down there no more. That's it. So we're not going to go swimming there anymore, I guess. Here was the old ice arena downtown when I was a boy. We would come in here and go ice skating right there. The sides of the building were open then. You could rent the skates in there and everything, and later it was closed and turned into the city yards. All lowland along here. Here's the downtown Kalamazoo Police Department right here. It used to be Sears and Roebuck, downtown Kalamazoo. Back here was the automotive department. But they've built on and so forth. There's a indoor SWAT training course in there. I understand it's quite an elaborate layout in there. It's a water company right there in Michigan. But yes, this was Sears and Roebuck, and now it's the cop shop. There was also at one time a court down here. I believe that has been removed as well. Over on this corner was the old bank, American National Bank, that they raised here 2 years ago now. I did an extensive video on that taking place. Yep. My old neighborhood right here. It do not look the same. We used to walk from our house right over here to Sears and go in there and buy candy. Now, not only is my neighborhood and the house gone, Sears is gone. But you could certainly find yourself back in that building if you so desired. Here's Upjohn Drive. And we're gonna turn Upjohn Drive up into here. The building that you see over here on the right, in the middle of your screen, looks like a church, right? Okay, it used to be a church. Now it's the Kalamazoo Alano Club. They're parking out here and everything. That is the Kalamazoo Alano Club. I can't remember the name of the church that was in there back in the day. But right here in the corner was a mansion. And then, of course, the old storefronts along Burdick Street as we progress in town. We're inbound in town. A couple of the old mansions along here. Here's the parsonage to the First Christian Reformed Church. The First Christian Reformed Church back in the day. Now it's the First United Baptist. Other businesses along here from the day. The old hotel or rooming house. There's another cool old rooming house right up here. On this corner right here, before Bronson the hospital bought it, were other little businesses and homes going to the east and down around the corner until you get up here to what is now known as the Tremblay building, but it was actually the Block building, built by one of the Dutch residents here in the area. And then you can see the beautiful rooming house here in the corner, especially in the east, like this for the sun. Here's the old Bosman building, Block. It's a Bosman building, 1905. And this corner right here was an old Tudor style mansion house. We used to walk by it every day. Our home was just over here to the right, about a block and a half. This is how we'd walk downtown. Right up the side of the street here, there was a gas station on the corner and mansions along here. And then you get to the mansion right here. Used to walk by this. On the corner up here was another house, another home. These little buildings along here were here. And the State Theater right there. Kalamazoo Gazette here across the street. This is now for sale. It's been closed after 100 years. Isn't that something? A State Theater. Yes, sir. It's where I seen my first movie. Right in there. When I was a boy, young boy, I was in about 5 years old. So it would have put you back about 1964. And I went in here to see a second showing of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It came out, I believe, in '59, but they brought it back again, and I went in there with two of my cousins to watch that. Changed my life. Right through that front door right there. Yeah, for a 6-year-old boy, to see a movie like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, oh my God. Here's the historic marker on the corner of the building, telling about the Kalamazoo Gazette. Yep. And this is the south end of the Kalamazoo Mall that we were on the other day. Of course, beautiful architecture of the State Theater building. Okay, we've been through here before a few times. I have a video I have to shoot right over there in the corner at the Park Club, and so we're going to get onto that, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again for watching and subscribing. I sure appreciate it.